Hello, my mathematicians. This is Miss Foster with Math in Focus, Grade 3, Chapter 14, Lesson 5, Fractions of a Set. My friends, you have heard me say it before. You will hear me say it again. Fractions are hard because we're talking about pieces and parts instead of whole things. Fractions of a set are even more difficult, in my opinion, because even the fractions will equal whole numbers. So let's see what this means. A set is a group of objects. So instead of talking about one whole candy bar, we could talk about a bag of Hershey's Kisses. Instead of talking about one date, we would talk about a bag of dates. Instead of talking about one sock or one pair of socks, we would talk about the bag that all the socks come in when we buy them. And because of that, any number could be a set, and a fraction of a set will also equal a whole number. So to help us with this, I want to start off with a really big hint, and that is that finding the one or the unit fraction can really help you on this. What am I talking about? Well, let's look at this bouquet of flowers over here. So we're told that there are 10 flowers. The unit then, the one flower will equal 1/10. And we call this a unit fraction because it has a 1 in the numerator, and we tend to use those unit fractions quite a bit. So 1 of the tenths will equal 1 flower here, and you see how the fraction is suddenly also represented as a whole number. So what fraction of these flowers are red? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means 5/10 are red, but is that its simplest form? I think not. To find its simplest form, we'll use our equivalent fraction skills that you've been practicing. And we're going to divide by 5/10 by a symbol of 1, a fraction of 1, that is a factor of both 5 and 10. 5 is a factor of both 5 and 10. So I'm going to divide this by 5/5, and I will find that 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. And when I really think about it, 5 is half of 10. So what fraction of the flowers are red? 1/2. That's 5 flowers. What fraction of the flowers are purple? I think I need to get some purple marker here. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2 are purple. That's 2/10. But I'll want to use my equivalent fractions here to simplify this. So I will divide it by a factor that 2 and 10 both share. They happen to share a factor of 2, so I'm going to divide it by 2/10. This is still 1, but it's 1 represented by 2 halves. And 2 divided by 2 equals 1, and 10 divided by 2 equals 5. So 1/5 of the flowers are purple. So I'm getting my yellow pen here so that we can do our yellow ones. 1, 2, 3. 3/10 of the bouquet is yellow. Can I simplify this anymore? No. And then what fraction of the flowers are not red? Well, that would sort of be like putting these two together. So to do this sort of work, I'm going to think about putting 2/10 with 3/10, because in both of these fractions, we're dealing with tenths. It's the same denominator, and so the pieces are the same size. So if I add 2 plus 3, I get 5/10 again. But wait a minute, that means half. One more time. So I know already, because we did it above, that 5/10 is equal to 1/2. And there we go. Okay, so we worked with fractions of that set of flowers, but now we're going to look at fractions of a set where the numerator is greater than 1. So the set of ducks is divided into how many groups? Well, it looks like they wanted to divide these ducks by color. So we can see that 4 of them are yellow, and we can also see that 6 of them are purple. But then they wanted to use a more simplified set of fractions with a smaller denominator. So they decided to say, well, these are all even. I can't make the denominator groups of 4 because 6 can't be divided by 4 evenly. And I can't make the common denominator groups of 6 because there are only 4 yellow ducks. So they decided to divide it into 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 equal groups. So this set of ducks is divided into 5 equal groups. What fraction of the ducks are yellow? Well, one group, 1/5, 2/5, we could take that 2/5 of those ducks are yellow. And what fractions of the ducks are purple? 1, 2, 3/5. But now, they might ask the question, what is 3/5 of 10? See, that's where we get beyond the unit fraction. So if I'm looking at this, I consider the fifths. 1/5 equals 2. But I get 3 of them. So what is 3 times 2? Well, 3 times 2 equals 6. And so 3/5 of 10 equals 6. You can see I have 6 purple ducks right there. Now, you can also draw those beloved and beautiful bar models, oh, I love them so much, in order to model the fraction of a set. So there are 20 plates in the set over here. 15 of the plates are blue, and that means 3/4 of the plates are blue. So 3/4 of 20 is 15. You can see they drew a bar to stand for all the plates. I would have put at least a P here to let us all know that it's plates that we're talking about. And the whole thing is worth 20. And you can see here they decided, well, I've got 15 that are blue and 5 that are yellow. And 20 divided by 5 is 4. So you notice that they divided it up into 4 groups. And they also divided this bar up into 4 groups. Then they colored in, they shaded in the amount that were yellow. And so we see 3/4 of 20 is 5, 10, 15. Let's give it a try over here. John has 20 toy cars. And it looks like we're talking about fifths again. 3/5 of the toy cars are yellow. So let me just say, well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups. Now down here I have my bar model that's equal to 20, and they already divided it for me into 4 groups. So now the question is, how many in these? Well, there's 4 in each fifth. 1/5 right here is the same as 4 cars. And so now I'm going to do 4 times 3 to find out how many of the cars are yellow. And that would be 4 times 3 is 12. So first we find the unit fraction, or the 1, and then we can multiply it by the number of boxes. And this is another reason why I just love me some bar models. So when you're working on this today, there's a lot to remember. I want you to remember all these things and watch this video again, because this is super hard, you guys. It's super hard to learn, I promise. A set is a group of objects or things. And because of that, any number could be a set. Now, that also means that a fraction of a number or a fraction of a set will be a number, just like we saw back here with these cars. And then finding that 1, or that unit fraction, that 1/5 of those cars was going to equal 4, that can help you to really find the number in the fraction of the set. So you're going to complete workbook pages 107 to 111. I have some second graders also watching this. Second graders, you're going to do all the workbook pages that I pasted into your PDF. And a grading master will be found in Seesaw for this week, and you can look there. And what I'd like you to do is do each page and then grade each page, and that way you can catch your mistakes and learn from them. I'm always going to ask you to do that. If you get lost or stuck, definitely rewatch this video. This is sort of mind-blowing when you're first learning it. Definitely use your bar models and your fraction bars. Draw those bar models. Get out those little manipulatives we sent with you. If you'd rather draw pictures of circles, go for it. If you need more help, contact your teacher or me during our office hours. And before we go, I want to show you an example of the very first 4 problems they ask you to do here. They asked, this is the workbook page. Now, when I looked at it, I thought, oh man, that's confusing. So let me try to parse this out for you. And they ask you to write 2 fractions for the following whole numbers. And so we're thinking of a number as a set. So the whole group. Well, here is a whole group of one whole group, but we've written it as 3/3. Do you see that there? Or we've drawn it, if you will, as 3/3. 1 is also equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so 1 is equal to 6 sixths. Now down here, they had to show 2. So they've got 2 of these rectangles. And here they're showing the 2 rectangles as 8/4. And here they're showing the rectangles as 4/2. So they want you to draw a picture like this. And I think that was confusing, and hopefully I have helped. Guys, thank you so much for playing fractions with me today. I love playing math with you. Have so much fun and plan on struggling for fractions of a set. But remember, in the struggle is your learning. Bye-bye for now.